Okay, LibGuides, or
Oh,
Lib
is it
Guides.
live?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I never heard it that
Whatever you
way.
prefer.
Oh, like library?
So first question, how do you get to the library? You can't get away from it. If you go to the library homepage, or to the college homepage, there is a library right there. And how do you get to the LibGuides? I've given you a handout that shows you 3 different ways. We have it as a tab at the top, but people couldn't find the tab. So we put it down here too. Both go to the same place. Subject links and program links also get to pieces of that. We, for years, had pages, web pages that we created for each program we taught. And then we eventually replaced them all and added more with the LibGuides. And why did we stop doing our own internal pages and buy this outside product? To do our own web page, we had only one person in the library who was allowed to do it. And we were lucky to have that one person, because most departments don't have any ability to edit the web page. We had to do it only from one computer on campus. And the IT staff is very busy, and when there are problems, they're not always that able to give you immediate help. Having this commercial service, it's housed outside. We can get to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even with our network here down. We can get to it. We can edit it from home if we have to. We can create things.
Wow.
We can share the editing with other people. We can create a specific page for any college-related activity, and we could make the RTC person who's most interested in that area a co-author on that site. So we don't have to do all the work if someone has an idea. So what do we have? When you go there first, it usually comes up with this format, most popular. And those that have been viewed the most this year are at the top. Reading Apprenticeship is always our most popular website. In fact, it's so popular, it also actually shows up in Google searches.
Wow.
And 3,101 so far this year. During the second year that it was up, actually got more than 8,000 hits that year.
Now, is this academic year or calendar year?
I believe it's calendar year. And just to show you the kinds of things we do, technology kind of related activities that we've found might be useful, available for anyone. If someone wants to know more about graphics, how do you get graphics? Where do you find photos? How do you manipulate them? What's editing software freely available? So when we find something useful related to technology, how do I do a survey? You can do it real simply. There are all these different ways you can do surveys for free. LibGuides, we can ask, we can do surveys through this service also, with more control. Angel, of course, we don't use Angel anymore, but you know, we had it, why take it down since it's already there? Speech to text transfer, you can see all the different kinds of things.
Canvas on there.
Right.
Yep.
Not as good as what Liz does, but it's an introduction. Another feature that we like is that we can embed documents through this service. So these PDF files and these Word documents actually live out there. We're not necessarily dependent on a link that might be broken. We can capture the document ourselves. And you can embed videos also. So let's do something like, well, there's someone in DSL. And I won't play the whole video for you, but this is a fun one. You might someday search for it. It's John Cleese explaining the brain, and you can't understand it very well. It's to show the English speaker what it's like for an ESL speaker when you're up there talking in technical terms. Such an authoritative presentation. You expect you should be able to understand it, but you can't. And you can see lots and lots of lots of different things that we have available. And so we have one for every program that we teach here. We have a standard format, how to find articles, how to find books, websites that for this program we think would be pretty useful. Usually we're doing citations, either APA or MLA, depending on what that course usually uses. We might look at, for instance, culinary arts. And for instance, here's something we have what we call a hot topics page. We know that one of the culinary assignments that students often get is write about a famous or interesting culinarian.
Right.
Hard to find information, biographical information about chefs. So we have these two links that are pretty useful. And then here's a list of all the books, all the biographies, or things with biographical information that we have in our library about chefs. And every time we buy a new one, we add it there. So we know it's a hard assignment, so we're trying to make it a little easier for the students. Same thing with the books page. Here's a schematic showing you how culinary subjects are broken down within the Dewey Decimal Classification System. So you see that the sociology of food, like English eating habits, is going to be in the 390s, but cooking is in the 641, and restaurant equipment is way over there. And we've also made it a link, so click here, and you will go to our catalog, pull up books that are on Chinese cookery, where you could, of course, drill down farther and find out more about the book. Was it checked out? Where is it? All of those certainly. So we have more than 50 pages related to everything that we teach and any subject that we think might be useful. But we're just making these guesses, and we encourage people to tell us when we need to do something new. As I say, it's a service we pay a couple $1,000s a year for, but we think it's well worth it because we can provide additional services for people. Here's the alphabetical list. Come on. Oh, right there, wrong alphabet. Showing you all the different things that we have.
So Eric, how do you and library colleagues make sure that faculty teaching in these specific areas know and realize that you indeed have new additions to the LibGuide guide?
We probably don't do as good a job as we should. We do send notices to faculty about newly acquired books and videos 2 or 3 times a year, and then we can add them to these sites also.
Then when you have student orientation, does the instructor usually come with them, and then the students are seeing that as well as the instructor? Or?
If we encourage the faculty to come with them for the orientation.
Okay.
If it is just an orientation, particularly if the faculty member has been through an orientation in the past, we don't require them to be there.
Okay.
They usually are. If it's a workshop, we do require them to be there. And we need them to tell us when they change their assignments. Remember, we're trying to find out, what are you teaching now that we can help you with?
Right, good.
And we hope to have a breakout workshop during the in-service that will talk about how we can connect our services to the faculty better. And we are also planning a focus group with some faculty members to decide how we can better get out to people.
Okay.
So lots of stuff, lots of resources. We always want to say we're paid to do this, whether anyone asks for help or not, we're going to do it anyway. So why not tell us what you need? You might get something out of the money that we're spending.
Wow, it's an awesome, awesome tool.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Any questions for Eric?
Can they be cross institutional? So like if someone has a good LibGuide over here that you would like to bring in here, or
LibGuides is a service that thousands of libraries across the country use, and most of them will let you copy and reproduce the site on your. For instance, Bellingham Technical College is copying the accreditation site that Debbie and I created because they are about to go into their writing project, and they thought, you've already done all that work, why should we repeat it?
Right.
And so they're going to copy and then modify for themselves
Right.
what we've already done.
Nice, nice. Awesome, Eric,
Okay.
thank you. Oh, Jim, did you
Yeah, I
have
was going to
something?
say that I get emails from the library staff at least once a month with new books related to business.
Mhm.
So they're very good about keeping the program faculty updated.
Good, good. And I'm hoping, you know, the opposite is true as well, is that faculty are seeking you out, you know, and they're seeking these pages out, and they're encouraging their students to go to LibGuides and showing them on there, even in addition to orientations you might do, because this is such an awesome tool. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Good work.